In this video, I'm going to share with you my tried and tested strategies, which has helped me immensely during my promotion years, and it can help you get closer to that coveted promotion you're eyeing as well. Hi everyone, welcome to Insider Gyan. My name is Soumi. I'm an IIT Delhi and ISB Hyderabad grad, and I have been working in the banking and consulting industries for over 9 years now. On this channel, I share my experiences, my journey, mistakes, failures, learnings, and I get my friends to share their experiences as well, so that it can help you in your respective career journeys as well. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, starting with your promotion years. It's very important to treat your promotion years, or at least the year when you are trying proactively to go from one level to the next level. It's very important to treat that specific year slightly different from the other years that you have been facing in the firm, mainly because you are evaluated during that year in a slightly different way. You not only have to do your current job well, but you also have to show that you are able to handle higher responsibilities. You will have to show some proof that you have worked in the next level already. And I have been in the industry for 9 years. Of course, I have gone through quite a few promotions. So I wanted to share my strategies with you, which have really worked well. I'm going to divide this entire video into 3 key sections. Sabse pehle, number 1, we are going to discuss how your year-end evaluations go and how in most of the firms it is decided whether you are going to be promoted to the next level or not. Second, we are going to talk about what are some of the key criteria that you should be aware of when you are eyeing a promotion. What are some of the things that you should work towards? And lastly, in third section, we'll talk about what are the things that you need to do to get closer to your promotion. Let's start with section 1. How the year-end process goes and how is your promotion determined in the year-end evaluations. Usually, हर company में ये होता है कि your manager, तुम्हारा manager, is going to go to all the stakeholders that you have worked with and is going to collect your feedback from all those stakeholders who you have impacted. And during the year-end evaluations, your manager is going to present your case to a panel of evaluators. And that panel is usually the leadership of the company at different levels. If the discussions are happening at the company level or at the local level, it's going to be the local leadership who is going to sit, and then there's going to be regional discussion. Approvals are going to happen at each stage. So your manager presents your case, and then whoever are the other stakeholders you have worked with are usually invited in that meeting as well, and they get a chance to share their point of views as well. Once that discussion happens, everyone at your level is going to be put on a bell curve, and you will be placed either at the rightmost end, which means you are one of the top performers, or in the middle, which means you have been an average performer, or in the tail end, which means you have some development areas to prove. After this normalization, it is then that promotions are determined from, I would say, slightly above average to the tail end, rightmost tail end. Decisions are usually going to be made at the most local level, at the leadership level, who is closest to you. And then, of course, as a process, these need to be approved by, say, for instance, the regional leadership or the global leadership as well. But जो local office ने decision ले लिया है, that is usually, in most of the cases, it is not contested. It does not change at the other levels. The other levels are just from a process perspective, just to get approvals. It's very important for you to understand the evaluation process. And of course, every company has their own kind, but more or less, most of the companies that I have worked for and most of the MNCs will go through this kind of a cycle. And depending on the company, these discussions can happen either twice a year, a mid-year and a year-end, or once a year at the bare minimum. Now that you know that, let's move to section 2, where I'm going to share what are some of the things that you need to consider to get promoted. Number 1, of course, your performance at your current level needs to be top-notch. अगर तुम अपने level पे अच्छा perform नहीं कर पा रहे हो, then obviously people are not going to get confidence that you are going to do well in the next level as well, right? So it's very important. This is the table stake. This is the bare minimum that you have to perform well at your current level. And number 2 is you have to display that you will be able to take up additional responsibilities from the next level as well, which means you have to show some kind of proof that you are ready to go up to the next level and you will be able to do justice at that next level as well. Number 3, you need support from your key stakeholders. If whoever are your bosses, you are probably going to have just one direct manager, but there would be a lot of other seniors you would have worked with, right? You definitely need their support to build your case so that you can move from one level to another. Just doing good with one person is not a wise thing, because the more people vouch for you, the more the leadership is going to get confidence that yes, this guy is really good. So many people are talking good things about this person. So means this person is ready for the next level already. So that's number 3. And lastly, there are a few things that you should do outside your job responsibilities. So you should do different kind of firm activities, just to get visibility amongst the leadership as well. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो काम दिया है बस उतना ही कर रहे हैं. You should be like widening your horizon and doing a lot more things for the company in general, because think of it that you are going from one level to another, right? Your responsibilities will increase, not just from a work perspective, but also from an overall practice building perspective. In my opinion, these are the 4 things that will matter. These are the 4 criteria that you should keep in mind. And these are the 4 things you should plan for during the whole year so that you can get closer to the next level. Now, what are some of the actionable steps that you should do across each of these 4-5 things? So moving to section 3, let's start with the first point where you have to do good at your current level. What are the things that you should absolutely know to do good at your current level? Very important. You should know what the expectations are from your role. Right? Every HR of a company will have a list of different levels and what are the expectations, roles and responsibilities, job descriptions at each role. Lot of times हम लोगों को पता नहीं होता है HR पोर्टल में कहीं तो वो छुपा होगा इन्फॉर्मेशन है, हमें आइडिया ही नहीं होता है कि ये रिसोर्स एग्जिस्ट करता है. Lot of companies before year-end evaluations will tell you that this is the resource that you have, but a lot of companies don't. So it's pretty much for you to find out where this list is, and if you're not able to find this list, just have an honest conversation with your manager at the start of this year. Ask him what are the expectations from you at this point of time, what kind of projects you should be taking, what kind of work you should be doing, what kind of skill sets you should be displaying as well as acquiring. And knowledge of this is important because only when you know what your expectations are, you can prioritize your year, right? जैसे कि तुम्हें पता चल गया कि these are the 10 things that you have to do during that year. Now you can pick and choose that depending on what stage of life you are at, what your personal preferences are, you can choose the 5 things that you will absolutely focus on during this year and then make your plan for the year accordingly. That these are some of the projects that I have to take, maybe these are some of the trainings that I have to give, maybe I have to take part in XYZ activities, maybe I have to talk to XYZ people, and accordingly you make the plan for the year. Second thing that's important to do well at your current level is a continuous feedback loop. For this, I would strongly recommend you have regular check-ins with your current manager or whoever you are working with directly, whoever are the key stakeholders who are slightly above you and are sort of overseeing your performance. During these check-ins, make these guys aware of all the things, all the good things that you have done so far, all the skills that you have gathered, all the things that you are planning to gather in the next few months, and also use this opportunity to understand from them what they think are some of the additional things that you should be doing. And why is this continuous feedback loop important? Because everything is agile, right? As soon as you get that feedback, it'll give you more time for you to action on them. And in the next performance cycle, in the next sort of check-in, you can let them know that, these are the things you had told me about. This is how I have addressed these points. And do you think there's anything more that I should be doing now as well? Continuous loop is very important so that you get to know then and there what are some of the things you should be doing and what are your development areas, and you can take action faster. And you don't have to wait till the last moment to get a feedback, and then you don't have enough time to sort of work on that feedback and, gather instances which can show that you have overcome that feedback. Moving to number 2, how to show that you are able to take up new responsibilities as well. Okay. So here, again, two important things. One is, of course, it's again very important for you to know ki what are the expectations going to be from you at your next level. Understand that and consciously start doing some of those things now itself. Secondly, make sure that you have done at least one or two projects before the year-end discussions where you are already operating at the next level. It may or may not be easy, but just to give you an example, for example, when I was moving from a senior consultant to a manager, as a manager, I had to lead a small team. As a senior consultant, I was responsible only for doing my own work independently. What I consciously did before I was trying to get up to a manager was take up one project where I had a small team to lead. And it was on me to get that confidence from my senior manager or manager who could sort of leave me to be my own and to lead that team and to prove to the leadership that I'm ready to become a manager already. Similarly, if someone's moving from a manager to, say, for instance, a senior manager level, at senior manager level, at least in consulting, is where you start having sales responsibilities as well. So as a manager, you should have contributed to some extent in generating sales for the company. That's how you sort of showcase that you are ready to become a senior manager, and that's when a promotion goes seamlessly. Moving to the third thing, which is to garner support from the key stakeholders. Now, for this, it is firstly very, very important for you to have conversations with all of these people and be very vocal about the fact that you are trying to go for a promotion this year. A lot of times what happens is different people will be appreciative of your work, but unless and until they know that you are trying to go up the next level, they won't provide their feedback in such a strong kind of a way. And it also, to an extent, maybe boosts the ego of that stakeholder, right? Like, it's a bit of a human psychology. If that person knows that you are proactively coming to him for help to take you to the next level, that person is likely to help you more. Like Ankur Warikoo says, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't let them know that you are trying for a promotion, yes, maybe they'll give good feedback. But if you tell them that you are trying for a promotion, they'll tell them in a more positive way, proactively reiterate the fact that you are ready to go to the next level. They'll try from their end as well. So A, that is important. Have these conversations, tell them that you are going for a promotion, ask them what they think you should be doing to get that promotion, and tell them very, very honestly that I need your support during the year-end conversation. So tell me what I need to do for that. Is there anything that I can help you with? Are there any particular skills that you think I should build? Do you think I have some development areas which could prohibit me from getting to the next level? If so, then I'll proactively work on it. Again, just before the year-end conversations, have another chat with all these stakeholders. Remind them that, you are going up for promotion this year. Tell them your story. A lot of times people forget. अगर तुमने साल के शुरू में कुछ काम किया है, साल के एंड तक आते आते people will forget, they'll not remember, and it's really not their onus to remember the good work that you have done. But if you remind them, it will refresh their memory instantly. And a lot of times, we think that people are not grateful, they don't want to help you, but that's really not the case. A lot of times people forget. Your career is in your hands, so it is your responsibility to remind them that, these are the things that I have done. So refresh their memory on the good things that you have done, the skills that you have built. Remind them that you are going up for a promotion and you need their support. They need to be in the room and they need to speak good about you in that room. And after that, it depends on the person how much they want to support. At that point of time, I think everything that you had in your control, you would have done. Also, set up a call with your manager, because your manager is going to present your case to the evaluator panel. Help him build your story. Again, what are some of the things that you have to showcase that you think are important to get you that promotion? Focus on these things and share them with your manager. He may or may not pick up your things depending on what he has heard from you, what he has heard from your feedback evaluators. But at least तुम्हें अपना story convey करना चाहिए to the manager. The manager should be aware of your side as well, other than what the feedback providers have to tell him. Another last thing that you can do to get support is, a lot of times, what happens is, जो super senior bosses होते हैं, जिनके साथ हम directly काम नहीं करते हैं, we are not working directly with our super senior bosses, and they sort of must have heard about your name, but they don't really know what you do. During the year-end conversations, maybe somewhere in the middle or somewhere towards when the conversations are about to start, set up a coffee chat with them. It'll Firstly, if they've forgotten about you, which is quite natural because they're quite high up and they will probably remember more senior people as well, it refreshes their memory. Oh, this guy exists. And you know how they say out of sight, out of mind? That's very important to remember during the performance evaluation cycles. Agar meeting ke pehle, if he would have, heard about you and he would remember you, then during the year-end conversation, he would be like, oh yeah, this guy made an effort to talk to me. And I remember he was talking about XYZ things, which he was doing great at. And that's pretty cool. So share your side of the story to those senior bosses as well. And if you have some guidance to take from them, then of course, use that opportunity to get that guidance from them as well. Last part is about getting visibility and doing things outside your job responsibilities. Now, why I strongly think that you should be doing some of these things is because it gives you visibility. And like I just now mentioned, out of sight, out of mind. It's very important for you to be visible with the leadership of your company so that they remember you. And it's also important as you grow up the ladder to not just do your own work, but also contribute to the other kind of things that the company is involved in. It could be things like recruitment, it could be things like knowledge-based building, training, etc. And you would have seen that most of the times, the top leadership of any company, उनको डे टू डे काम से इतना मतलब नहीं होता, राइट? दे आर नॉट रियली बॉदर्ड अबाउट व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन योर प्रोजेक्ट और एनीथिंग, बट दे वुड बी very interested in team building, for example, or in recruitment, which is like very high level things, which is not necessarily a part of your day to day activity, but go and offer them some help. Let them know that, this is some area that you are interested in. Is there any way I can help you? And if that person needs some help, they'll remember you, they'll come back to you. And that's a great way to sort of get that instant visibility as well. It's probably related to getting support from that person. But overall, these are some of the things that you could do to ensure you have all the 4 criteria during your promotion year. I know it sounds a little daunting, and of course this can vary from company to company, but more or less जो basics होते हैं ना performance evaluation and promotion determination के, वो similar ही होते हैं. Now before I end this video, I want to tell you that after you have done all of these things, of course, there's still a possibility that you don't get that promotion, right? Personal experience बताऊँ तो when I was in my previous firm, I managed to get a promotion in 1 year in one of my levels by just doing all of these things. I tried the same thing this year with my current company and I failed. I did not get that promotion. So there are obviously going to be successes and failures, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing all of these things. Please do remember that at the end of the day, your career is probably a 40-year period. So if you get promoted this year or in the next 6 months or in the next 12 months, in the long run, itna fark nahi padta. It doesn't matter that much. What you should focus on is that you are enjoying the work that you are doing, and more importantly, you are enjoying the people you are working with as well. You are working in an environment which you find intellectually stimulating, and overall, if you are satisfied, then even if you get that promotion 6 months later, doesn't matter. So mental health को ज़्यादा affect मत करने देना इससे. That's going to be all for this video. Hope you guys found it useful and hope you took away something key from it. If you did, hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm going to see you soon in the next one. Till then, bye.